Dear students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are starting with your first poem, which is there in your compulsory course of first year. The title of the poem is Blow, Blow, Thou Winter Wind, and its poet is William Shakespeare. Okay, so here is the man, the great playwright who was there in the Elizabethan age and who has taken the English drama, the British drama, to very high stage, and he still remains one of the best playwrights which English theatre has ever had. So William Shakespeare, note down the spelling, William Shakespeare. There is an E also at the end, which most of the students either skip or they forget to write. Shakespeare. So this poem actually is from his play As You Like It, और इसी play में there is Act 2 Scene 7, in which there is a character who sings a song, and this song in fact is a poem for you in your course. And before we go to the poem, let's do a little thinking. The winter season, you can see in these pictures, it's brings shivering in our spine when we think of winter, especially the winter wind, when it is extremely cold, and when it strikes or comes in contact with our skin or our body, we feel the pain, we feel the sharpness of the winter wind, and no one likes actually staying in such a weather, right? So this is the background. So but the poet just says the opposite. So just let's go to through the poem, the title of which is, again I am repeating, Blow, Blow, Thou Winter Wind, and the poet is William Shakespeare. And you must know the name of the poem as well as the poet, because it will be asked in comprehension, question which appears in your this final exams. It will be for 5 marks, so you will have to attempt comprehension. So let's take a ballpoint pen and we start the poem now. So the poem begins with these words: Blow, blow, thou winter wind. Now the same word is repeated twice. So this is a device which is used by the poet, where you repeat the same word twice. This is for emphasis. This is for some kind of rhyme also. So blow, blow. Blow means blow का मतलब हिंदी में बहना होता है. The wind blows, the water flows. हवा जो है वो चलती है, पानी बहता है, तो wind blows. So blow, blow. That means the poet is repeating the same word twice. To emphasize that he means he actually wants the winter wind to keep blowing. Thou. Now thou is a Middle English word which was there earlier, but nowadays it has been replaced with you. If you have a doubt about thou, so I have inserted a slide, and we will go through that later, but let's go right now. So thou is a Middle English word which means you, right? Thou means you. So when it is in the subject, we will use thou. When it is in the object, we will use thee. All right, here you can see blow, blow, thou winter wind, right? So he's talking about the winter wind, and thou means you. And when thee is used in the object, as the object, then here subject is I. Shall I compare thee? So same thou becomes thee when you are using it in objective case. Okay, then the same word has 2 different forms, like thine and thy. So thine means yours and thy means your, right? जैसे हिंदी में तुम्हारा और आपका. So thine means yours, and thine is used before a vowel. and die will be used before a consonant. Consonant and vowel, consonants and vowels. So there shouldn't be any problem. For example, here, if you say thine eyes, so then you have to say thine eyes, because it begins with E. Similarly here, this above all, to thine own self, because it begins with the vowel, so we are going to use thine means yours. And similarly in thy face, F, it is a consonant, and that is why we use thy here. So this should be clear to you. Thou means you, thee also means you when you are using it in the place of object. Thine means yours, and you are going to use thine before a vowel and thy before a consonant, right? So let's go back to the poem now. So you saw this image, in which there is a shiver which goes down our spine when you see such wintry weather. But here the poet is just saying the opposite. It is asking the winter wind to keep blowing. Thou means you, winter wind. The poet says that you keep blowing, winter wind, you keep blowing. Thou art not so unkind. Again, thou. Thou means again that you are not so unkind. Unkind means cruel. Unkind means cruel. Someone who is not kind. Kind's opposite is cruel. Okay, thou are not so unkind. तुम इतनी cruel नहीं हो, निर्दयी नहीं हो. मतलब there is some comparison now. So comparison किसके साथ है? कितनी cruel नहीं हो. As man's ingratitude, जितना इंसान का ingratitude. Now what is ingratitude? Ingratitude, it means ungratefulness or thanklessness. Ungratefulness or thanklessness. I hope you understand it. हिंदी में इसका मतलब होता है कृतघ्नता. किसी ने कोई आपका भला किया है और आप उसका बुरा करने चले, तो वो ingratitude. उसको thanklessness भी. Both are correct. If someone asks you the meaning of ingratitude, you can write ungratefulness or thanklessness. Right. So thy tooth is not so keen. Thy. Again, thy, we had already, I have already made it clear to you that what thy means. Thy means your. And because we are using, why we are not using thine here? Because it is beginning with a consonant. So when there is a consonant, then you should use thy. Otherwise, we'll use thine. Okay, thine eyes, thine ear. So here it is a consonant. So thy tooth is not so keen. Thy means your. Tooth is not so keen. Now whose tooth? Now, since there are only two persons here, one is the poet and another is the winter wind. So there are only two persons here. So when the poet is talking to winter wind, so whose tooth? The tooth of the winter wind. Now you must be surprised as to where does wind have tooth, right? So this is another literary device, or you can say a figure of speech, which is used by the poet here. He compares winter wind with the human. Okay, because human or the animals also have teeth. So this is known as personification. Here, let's go through it. What is personification? So personification is a figure of speech in which a thing, idea, or animal, or any non-living thing is given human attributes, human qualities. That means you are assigning human qualities to non-human objects. Okay, you are assigning, you are attributing human qualities. For example, Asman rota hai, the sky weeps. Okay, you might have heard so many songs like Asman kehta hai Rab se, tune chand do kyun banaye. So the sky does not talk, the sky does not cry, but this is a liberty which the poet has. He can assign or ascribe these human qualities to non-human things. Similarly, the wind whispered, तो हवा ने धीरे से कहा. The flowers danced in the gentle breeze. फूल धीमी धीमी हवा में नाचे. Time and tide waits for none. The fire swallowed the entire forest. मतलब आग ने पूरा जंगल निगल दिया. So fire is not cannot, it does not eat or swallow like humans. So this is what is known as personification. So it is nothing but a figure of speech in which something is given, something non-human is given human attributes. Okay, so he has personified winter wind, and that is why it is calling it as the second person you. Okay, so thy tooth is not so keen. What does this mean? Thy tooth means your bite. We bite with the tooth. So what is the bite of the winter wind? It is the chill which the wind gives us. जो ठंड लगती है हमको बर्फानी हवा से. So वो कहता है उतनी तेज नहीं है. Keen means sharp. कितनी तेज नहीं है. Again there is a comparison there. That is the anticipation should be in your mind, because thou art not seen. कि तुम इतनी तेजी से नहीं चुभती हो जितनी, या तुम्हारी चुभन उतनी तेज नहीं है जितना के, because you are not seen, क्योंकि तुम दिखती नहीं. That means it is natural for winter wind to be harsh. It is natural for winter wind to be sharp. It is natural for the winter wind to be biting. Okay, although thy breath be rude. Although means though, although, यद्यपि, तुम्हारी, thy, again thy. Thy mean year. Breath, be rude. तुम्हारी सांस जो है वो, it is not very gentle. It is very rude. Rude means you blow fast. हवा जो है तेजी से चलती है. तो तुम्हारी सांस, again he is attributing these human qualities, breathing, teeth. Okay, you addressing as a second person. This device is known as personification. So you can see clearly there is a comparison between human ingratitude and the harshness of winter wind, because it is natural for the winter wind to be biting and cold. Rather, it is quite unnatural for human beings to have a sense of ingratitude. So then he says in the next stanza, hey ho, sing hey ho unto the green holly. So hey ho is just a repetition of you can say a sound. Hey ho, जैसे आपने हिंदी गानों में भी सुना होगा, so just like that. This is just the tune. Unto the green holly, unto the green holly. Holly is a green small plant, a tree which remains green forever. You might have seen the Christmas tree. Okay, so it's just like that. Okay, green holly. तो ये कहता है कि तो गाते रहो. Green holly means these people are there in the forest, और इस हरे भरे इस holly tree के पास गाते हुए you should enjoy your life. And then this sentence is very important. Most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Most मतलब अधिकतर friendship, दोस्ती is feigning. Feigning means it's a pretense, दिखावा, false show off. Most loving mere folly. और ज़्यादातर मोहब्बत क्या है, सिर्फ मूर्खता. So this is why the singer is saying these things. Now we must go into the background of this song. This song, as I told you, is taken from Shakespeare's play As You Like It, and there is a character who sings this song. तो उसके मन में there is he had some bitter experience with the human world. और किस चीज़ का वो bitter experience था? That was related to ingratitude. Okay, so when we discuss its summary, we'll discuss what is the background. Right now, just go through these lines. So that means you can understand from these lines, most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. That means the person has been cheated by, deceived by someone who was close to his hurt. And that is why he has such a negative feeling towards friendship and such a critical attitude towards the love. Then, hey ho, the holly, this life is most jolly. Then again, he repeats the same words. Then, let's sing in and around this holly tree and enjoy because life here, here means in the forest, is most full of happiness, most happy, right? So this is the first stanza which we just went through. You must understand the meaning of the words and what the poet wants to convey. So two or three things quickly. First thing is the poet is asking the winter wind to keep blowing while in normal day to day life, you never like winter wind. You won't ask winter wind to come and hit you or come and give you that pain or give you that chill, because everyone wants to save himself from the cold chilly winter wind. But the singer or the poet has had a bitter experience of the human world. That is why he doesn't find it as painful, as biting, as human at ingratitude. Ingratitude, I told you, ingratitude means the thanklessness or ungratefulness of human beings. Ungratefulness, like when someone you have done good to someone and that person forgets that help and he turns your enemy, so that is more hurting. Okay, it is more disgusting rather than this winter wind. Okay, so I hope you got the idea of what is conveyed in this first stanza. So this thou, thine, and thee must be clear to you. Now let's go to the second. Now this image I want to show you first. Now this is the picture. This is a common scene during winters when it is extremely, exceedingly cold. Then what happens? Then the water in the lakes, in the ponds, or even in the buckets or on the surface of earth, it doesn't remain fluid. Water otherwise is very smooth. There is flow in the water, but when it is extremely cold, then even water changes its shape. And this is what you see. So keep this image in mind because it is going to come in your next stanza. So this is the next one. Freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky. So again, the same thing goes on here also. Freeze, freeze means freeze. Freeze is a word which is used for extreme cold. So whenever there is extreme cold, everything gets frozen. Everything, the small droplets or the ponds, the lakes. Thou bitter sky. Bitter sky means he's talking about the winter sky. The winter sky which is full of dark clouds, and no one likes that winter sky because it gives you chills, it freezes everything around. So, but the poet is, happy that, and it is asking the winter sky to, freeze everything. That does not bite so nigh. And he continues that it is not so biting. It does not bite so deep. Nigh means near. This word means near, right? That does not bite so nigh. That means your bite is not so deep as benefits forgot. Again, there is a comparison between human ingratitude. This benefits forget mean the person whom you had helped sometimes forgets your help and turns your enemy. So he says that though it is natural for the winter sky to freeze everything, but it does not bite us so deeply as the benefits or as the help forgotten by a friend. Though thou the waters warp. Again, he continues the same description of the wintry day or the winter sky. It says that though thou, the waters warp, that it is so bitingly cold, it is uh, so cold that even the water changes its shape. That's the image which I shown you earlier. So thy sting is not so sharp, yet the poet says that the sting, sting is you might have got a sting from a honey bee, so it leaves its sting in your body, and that sting, gives you pain. But the same pain you feel when it is bitingly cold, when the chill gets into your skin, so you get the same kind of pain when it is extremely cold. But the poet says that that sting, that biting is not as sharp as a friend remembered not. Again, that ingratitude, right? So this is how the poet has brought out the comparison between the two things. One is the extremely chilly weather, the winter wind, the winter sky, and how it causes pain, because but it does not hurt as much, because it is natural for the winter wind, or the winter sky, or the winter weather to be full of chill. तो सिंपल सी बात है, अगर सर्दी में सर्दी नहीं होगी तो उसको सर्दी कौन बोलेगा, है क्या नहीं? तो बट दैट इज़ नेचुरल, it is a natural process, because it is a natural process and it cannot be altered. Then hey ho, sing hey ho, again that same lines which are repeated here. Unto the green holly is let's go up to that green holly plant. Most friendship is feigning. The same lines are repeated here, that most friendship is just a false show off, or you can call pretense, pretence, and most loving mere folly, and love is mere foolishness. Then hey ho, the holly, that this life is most jolly. Now again he repeats the same thing, that this life in the forest, in the open forest, where they have to face every challenge of nature. He says that it is better than the human world, which is full of selfishness, which is full of deception, which is full of such bad things, right? So this is the entire poem. Now let's this is the holly plant. You can see that Christmas tree, the small bushy plant, right? So it remains green forever. And this is how the poet has used the device, or this the figure of speech personification here, by comparing winter wind with the human having teeth or breath, right? Then let's quickly go through its summary. So as I told you, this poem actually is a song from William Shakespeare's play As You Like It. Okay, this is clear. In the play, the background of this play, now we come to that point. Why the singer is, so distraught, or so angry, or so sad about human world. The reason is that there was a duke. He was very noble, and he had a younger brother. But the younger brother cheated his elder brother, and he sent him into exile. उसको अपने उस किंगडम से निकाल दिया उसको, छोटे भाई ने बड़े भाई को, बड़ा भाई जो बहुत ही नेक इंसान था, and that fellow had helped him, his younger brother, a lot. So the duke, he is followed by some of his faithful courtiers to the forest. तो ड्यूक जो है उसके साथ उसके कुछ फेथफुल, जो उसके वफादार जो courtiers होते हैं, दरबारी, वो चले जाते हैं. And Amines, who sings this song, is one of them. So this is the background. So they are living in the forest, but as you make out from the poem, that living in this forest is not as painful as living in the human world. So there is a comparison Comparison between the harshness of winter wind with the ungratefulness or thanklessness or ingratitude of human beings. And he says that ingratitude causes more pain than the chilly winter wind. And in the first stanza, it is addressed to the winter wind, and the poet again says that the pain or the bite or the chill caused by the cold winter wind does not hurt us as much as the thanklessness or ungratefulness of those whom we have helped. Because why? Because it is natural for the winter wind to be cruel, but it is not expected that human beings should forget the help received and turn against those who have helped them. Right? So, extreme cold brings the second stanza snow and freezes everything, even the water in the ponds and lakes. It changes its shape, water warps, but is not as painful as the ingratitude of human beings. And the poet, repeatedly, these lines are repeated in both stanzas, that he calls most friendship as cheating, deception, pretense, and most love as mere foolishness. Therefore, living in the forest is a great hardship. It is less painful than living in a society. So, the singer describes life in the lap of nature as most happy. This life is most jolly. He also invites the listener, he also invites us to, live in the forest where there are evergreen, trees like the holly. So, this is the summary of the poem. And this poem also has a lesson for us. We people also, we should be grateful to the family first, then the community, the society, and the nation, because everyone has contributed in his or her own way to make us what we are today. So you must be grateful to your parents, must be grateful to the society, the community, to the nation. And this has a lesson for us also, because if we become selfish and we do not show our gratitude to all those who have helped us, then it is just like what the poet has conveyed to us, right? So we will take up quickly the comprehension questions. You will get first question in your final exams like this. The stanza will be given and you will be asked questions out of it. So first question obviously comes, which comes is name the poem and the poet. That is why I was asking you to remember the name of the poem and the name of its poet also. So the name of the poem, as you know, it is given here also, blow blow the winter wind. So you should keep your eyes and ears open, and each one of you should attempt every question, right? So, and the poet is William Shakespeare, right? Spelling you should know. Who is not so unkind as man's ingratitude? So इतना बड़ा क्वेश्चन देख के डरना नहीं है, ये क्वेश्चन एक ही है, छोटा सा है। हु, जैसे पूछा जाता है हु इज़ योर फादर, तो तुम पूरे गांव का और पूरे शहर का पता नहीं बताते हो, आप बताते हो सिर्फ पिताजी का नाम, अच्छा ये है, तो हु की जगह उसका नाम बता दो यहाँ, बस, बाकी ये सारा ऐसे ही रहेगा। ये तो सिर्फ डराने के लिए है। हु इज़ नॉट सो अनकाइंड। अब बहुत सारे बच्चे क्या करते हैं, दे जस्ट राउंड इट है, यहाँ पे ऐसा गोला बनाएंगे, ये दूसरे क्वेश्चन का है, बट इट इज़ नॉट द आंसर। आप ऐसा नहीं लिखेंगे दाउ आर नॉट सो अनकाइंड, अनकाइंड यहाँ देखा, अनकाइंड देखा, हाँ ये ढूंढने का तरीका हो सकता है, लेकिन आंसर नहीं है। ठीक है, आंसर क्या है, नाम देना है उसका, हु इज़ नॉट सो अनकाइंड। तो आपने दाऊ नहीं लिखना है, दाउ आर नॉट सो अनकाइंड, ये आंसर नहीं है। हु इज़ दाऊ, दाऊ का मतलब यू। यहाँ दो ही बंदे हैं, एक पोइट है और एक विंटर विंड है। ओके, तो दाऊ का मतलब कौन है, विंटर विंड। तो आपको क्या लिखना है यहाँ पे, विंटर विंड, बस, हु की जगह विंटर विंड, बस, बाकी वैसे का वैसा ही छोड़ देना है। तो अगर आप विंटर विंड भी लिखते हैं तब भी ये क्वेश्चन, ये आंसर सही है। अगर आप इसको साथ में जोड़ देते हैं ऐसा ऐसा जैसा है, बस हु की जगह विंटर विंड इज़ नॉट सो अनकाइंड एज मैन्स इनग्रेटिट्यूड, बस आपने अपनी तरफ से सिर्फ विंटर विंड लिखा, बाकी सारे वर्ड्स वैसे के वैसे आ गए, हु को हटा दिया। ओके, नेक्स्ट, वाई इज़ द टूथ ऑफ द विंटर विंड नॉट सो कीन कि उसका दांत मतलब उसके इतने तेज क्यों नहीं है, मतलब उतना तेज से चुभती क्यों नहीं हो। वही द विंटर विंड, टूथ ऑफ विंटर विंड इज नॉट सो कीन। तो इसका आंसर यहाँ है बिकॉज दाउ आर्ट नॉट सीन। लेकिन अगेन आपने दाउ नहीं बोलना है, आपने आंसर यहीं से देना है। वाई इज को हटा दो यहाँ से आंसर शुरू हो जाएगा। द टूथ ऑफ विंटर विंड, ये इज यहाँ आ जाएगा। इज नॉट सो कीन बिकॉज दाउ आर नॉट सीन, नहीं, इट इज नॉट सीन बिकॉज इट इज नॉट सीन। ओके, नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट डज शेक्सपियर। देखो अगर किसी को समझ होगी तो यहाँ पोइट का नाम भी आ गया। तो पोइम का नाम यहाँ पहले सेंटेंस में है, पोइट का नाम यहाँ पे है, बट ये उन्हीं के लिए जिन्होंने पढ़ा होगा, जिन्होंने किताबें खोली होगी। और आधे से ज़्यादा ऐसे होते हैं जिनको पोइम का नाम नहीं याद और पोइट का नाम नहीं। व्हाट डज शेक्सपियर से अबाउट फ्रेंडशिप एंड लव, क्या कहता हो। ये कहता है, यहाँ से शुरू हो जाएगा आंसर। शेक्सपियर says that बस most friendship is feeling and most loving foolishness is foolishness।